And welcome on in to another episode of Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, Tim beside me, Dave bottom left, Nick bottom right, and we are ready to break down some Wednesday baseball. We have some games that are currently live right now. Phillies and the Reds, bottom of the ninth, 0-0.
Solid offensive performance by the Phillies. Thank you very much.
The Reds have one guy on base with 2 outs. I have the Phillies -1.5 and money line in a parlay. So I'm really hoping that they can get to the 10th here and score some runs finally. Cubs Nationals 2-1 Cubs. I leaned Cubs but didn't get involved. Twins 4-0 against Kansas City. I have the Twins money line in a parlay with the Phillies. But kind of wishing I had maybe done a bit more with the Twins in this situation, but it is what it is. And then the Blue Jays game is about to be starting shortly. The Nationals just tied it against the Cubs. It's now
Lol Cubs.
Yep.
So there we go. But we will just jump right into the very first game that I chose for today, and it's starting in a little less than an hour here. Actually, one of my favorite games of the night. We have the Seattle Mariners -172 to -190. The Angels +145 to +165. 8.5s right across the board in this matchup here. For me, this Seattle team is hot right now. I really like what I've seen from them lately. And they are moving themselves up the standings here. I'm on Kirby to get to over 5.5 strikeouts and the Seattle run line. The reason for the Kirby play, one, it's the Angels. And two, he got, let me see here, I believe it was 8 strikeouts. Yeah, 8 strikeouts against the Angels in his last game that he played against them. 5 against Texas in his actual last game, 7 against Houston before that. He's actually playing better on the road too, which is something different. His ERA is lower on the road. But he has just been consistently good for a while now. So I'm going to back Seattle on the run line, which I got for -104, and Kirby over 5.5 strikeouts, which I got at -120. For me, it's just I'm going to back the hotter team and the better pitcher in my mind. Tim, Mariners, Angels, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I wanted to back the Mariners going for the sweep today. But I wanted plus money to back Kirby. I'm not a big fan of Kirby. He's fairly inconsistent, but he is a rookie, so I'll give him that. But I wanted plus money in order to grab him, and I'm not grabbing a -2.5 with the Mariners, and -1.5 on my book is -110. If I got plus money for it, I'm all over Seattle. The one thing I did bet was I tailed Terry with his strikeout prop and grabbed Kirby. At over 5.5 strikeouts, and I got it at +136. So that's kind of my deal, and the Cincinnati Reds just walked it off. Great. But I got Kirby in this one.
All right. Not to disagree with you or anything, but I think he has been kind of consistent. Like his last 6 games, he hasn't given up more than 2 earned runs. Only 4 innings in 2 of them, 5 innings in 2 of them, 6 in 1, 7 in the other. But I think he has been pretty consistent as of late. But,
real quick, a little bit of breaking news. LeBron James agrees to a 2-year, $97 million extension with Lakers.
Yeah.
Is he worth $97 million for 2 years?
no.
He's worth $500 million.
No. Yeah, his net worth is. I wouldn't pay him $97 million now.
He could name his price. That guy could name his price.
No, I'd let him walk at that price. But anyways, just figured I mentioned that. I saw that up there.
All right. IceX says screw the Phillies. Yeah.
Yes.
I kind of have to agree. I think we all kind of agree with that.
That's the team motto, by the way.
Wow. Well, it is what it is, I guess. Dave, what do you think in this game, Mariners and Angels?
Yeah, screw the Phillies and screw the Angels. I'm an Angels fan, but I'm staying off this game. Reason why is they didn't have a listed pitcher last night. I was looking at the game, and then when I woke up and continued my cap, I said I don't care that much. But I guess actually looking at this game, Kirby's pitched pretty well. Toussaint, however you say his name, has pitched fairly well. I don't think he's going to go deep in the game. And here's the thing: last 2 weeks, these bullpens have been pretty good. While the bats, even though the Mariners are winning, the bats aren't that strong, and the Angels bats haven't been strong since the first month of the season. So the under is probably a play. I don't know if you'd want to take the full game under or maybe the Angels team total under, but that's what I'd be looking at. I'm not giving out a ton of total advice because my total picks are still dick, and until I turn it around, I don't feel good giving it out. So,
hey, nothing wrong with that. We all have things that we're good at, but sometimes you just go on rough stretches. I'm sure you'll turn it around. Nick, Mariners Angels, what do you think here?
Yeah, we have Touki Toussaint on the mound for the Angels, and yesterday I had a small free bet on the plus a half in the first 5 with the Angels, and that came through, and then they blew it late. I can see something very similar in this game as well. I took a little flyer here, plus 160 in the first 5 innings with the LA Angels. I think Toussaint's better than people thinks he is. And I was also kind of looking at it here. He has a decent strikeout ratio. If you guys are looking for a strikeout prop, I think you can probably get Touki Toussaint for a decent number. He's averaging 10.13 strikeouts per 9 in his last 30 days and a 30% strikeout rate. Granted, I think he's only pitched a couple of times, but let's see what his strikeout prop is. I believe it's 4.5. Yeah, over 4.5 at plus 105 for Touki Toussaint. I would lean towards that direction. I think that we can see him have a decent performance here, striking out at least 5. So lean towards that over 4.5 strikeout prop. But I took a flyer here with the Angels in the first 5 at plus 160.
All right. We'll move on along to one of the other matchups for tonight. We have the Colorado Rockies and the St. Louis Cardinals in this one here. Let me just get the odds up here. So you can find Colorado right now plus 170 to plus 180. So pretty close all across the books here. St. Louis minus 200 to minus 225. And mostly 7s, a couple 7.5s available in this game here. For me, I'm taking the St. Louis run line. I haven't really been huge on run lines, but today it's a run line day, and it's also a money line parlay day. Obviously, Philly didn't work out in the first one, but I do have St. Louis here parlayed with Seattle. So Seattle money line and St. Louis money line, which is plus 131. And I also have the Cardinals on the run line. I don't really think Colorado really has too much to play for here at this point. St. Louis fighting for the division title and looking like a pretty good team down the stretch. Marquez in his last 2 games, he has only given up 2 earned runs in both games, so he has been pitching better than his overall season. He did face the Cardinals in his last game, 6 innings, 8 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. I think if he gives up 8 hits in this one, he's going to get hit a little bit more here. So I like the Cardinals in this spot. And then Montgomery, hey, maybe a change of scenery has been good for him. Both games, he has not allowed an earned run since he was traded from the Yankees. So he has pitched very well in both games, and I don't see why that doesn't continue here. Tim, Rockies, Cardinals, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, another one of those games that I didn't get to anything in the side, but I did a little bit of strikeout props today, and one of the guys I decided to tag on was Jordan Montgomery. He's been solid since coming to the Cardinals. Granted, 1 strikeout against the Yankees, but he did have a nice strikeout performance against in his last game. I believe he struck out 8 guys. 8 guys against the Brewers. Now you get the Rockies, which I kind of like the spot here for him at home. He seems to do a lot better at home too. So I'm going with him on the strikeout prop. That was over 5.5 at plus 105. Obviously, these are small plays. They're 30-unit plays just because I wanted to have a little bit of fun with strikeout props. But For me, it's Montgomery strikeout prop, and then that's about it for this game.
All right, I'm glad to see you getting into the strikeout props. They can be really fun. Sometimes you're going to be one away and you're going to lose, and that really sucks. But sadly, that odds makers do sometimes definitely price those correctly. So sometimes you have to take alternate spreads, but I definitely like the strikeout props. Dave, Rockies and Cardinals. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I don't have a play in this. I guess some things surprised me. Jamal Marquez is pitching well recently. Jordan Montgomery's had 2 games against 2 teams, the Brewers and the Yankees, and has pitched shutout ball. The Rockies are hitting left-handed pitching, but not well on the road. And St. Louis is hitting. But I think this is probably a St. Louis spot, and I like the under, and maybe even first 5 under. I don't know what. I didn't look at that. But both pitchers have pitched decently. The Rockies aren't hitting that well. And so what? St. Louis has, it's 3-0 at the end of 5 or 2-1, or I bet you it's probably 4, even though it's 7.
Yeah, you can find under 3.5 at -110 at a couple spots. You can find under 4 for -125.
I mean, I'd lay, if you're going to bet it, which I'm not, I'd lay a little extra juice to get half a run. I mean, 125 at this point in the season on a first 5-inning bet is not horrible juice. It's right at about the ceiling for me, but I'm staying off this game. I guess the only play I see is an underplay.
All right. Nick, Rockies and Cardinals. What do you think here?
Yeah, I'm on that exact page. I got the first 5 under 3.5 at -115. Both these pitchers have been pitching pretty good. Monty, since coming to St. Louis, has looked really good, and he went up against the Yankees and the Brewers, which aren't terrible hitting staffs. And then German Marquez, he's better on the road than at home, obviously, because he does pitch in Coors Field. The Rockies do struggle to hit on the road a little bit, so I can definitely see this being another one of those lower scoring games. So I did take the first 5 under 3.5 here in the spot.
All right. Justin says, "What's up?" He hits the like. Thank you. Going to the Pirate game. Who should I bet on?
I'm on
First
first 5
Mountain
under.
and the Red Sox. Let's get it. I'm kidding. I didn't bet that.
I absolutely don't know. I did not get to that game. What's up, Richie? Let me quickly just take a look here. Rich Hill against Contreras. Yeah, I was leaning Pittsburgh, but I don't know. You can't really trust Pittsburgh. Obviously, they're going to have games where they do. Like they obviously have 45 wins, so they do win games. And Rich Hill is pretty good pitcher to face when you need to win a game, but I didn't really look into it heavily. I'm up today so far. Reds and you parlay cashed. Wow.
He
Reds
was
and under.
Reds and under.
Yeah. That was a hell of a call.
Yeah.
He would be on the other side, guys. He was the smart one.
There you go, Richie. We'll move on along to the next game here. Me and Nick went head-to-head in this game yesterday, and Nick kind of predicted exactly what would happen, and that is that we would both lose. The Brewers won by 1. So my money line best bet and Nick's Milwaukee run line best bet, both sadly lost. But it's a new day. We're going to go right back to this game here. You can find the Dodgers -167 to -188. Milwaukee +145 to +160. 8.5s, eights with a couple 8.5s available in this one here. 2 pitchers on the mound today in this matchup that I like, that have made me money this year and that I have liked to back. Eric Lauer, to begin the year was just amazing. He just was a money bag game after game. Had a bit of a rough patch, but has been playing much better as of late. Obviously, our wins against Boston and Cincinnati. He did take the loss against St. Louis in the last game. Only gave up 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 hits in 6 innings. So didn't absolutely get smashed, but took the loss there. Gonsolin, he was absolutely unstoppable for a good portion of the year. Had his little rough patch, but is now again pitching to the level that he was earlier on in the year in his last couple starts. So for me, going right back to Dodgers today, taking them on the run line, which I got for plus 100 in this one. Kind of a lean towards the under as well in this one. You could get under 8 for plus 100. I wouldn't be surprised if I don't think we're going to have a 1-0 game like we did in the Phillies and Reds, but I wouldn't be surprised if we have a lower scoring game in this one. Lauer should be able to hold the Dodgers offense at bay for the most part, and the Gonsolin, well, he's Gonsolin. Tim, Dodgers, Brewers, what do you think in this one?
Zippo. I didn't bet this game. Gonsolin, he's gonna be in a very similar boat to me as McClanahan, as a couple of pitchers that are getting up in their innings, because he is starting to get up in his innings. Granted, he had 2 good starts his last 2 times out. Good start against San Diego, but San Diego's been absolutely awful since the deadline. And then a good start against Kansas City, which who doesn't have a good start against Kansas City? But no, this is a spot I just completely stayed away from this game. I felt no need to want to get to it, so I moved on from it. I will say tomorrow I'll be back in Corbin Burns and the Brewers when they face off against the Dodgers in the 4th game of the series. But for this game, I'm staying away from it.
Who's pitching for the Dodgers?
Andrew Heaney.
Oh, okay, interesting. Dave, Dodgers, Brewers, what do you think of this one?
Yep. Yesterday, the night before that, I was super conflicted about the game. Watched the game. I was actually watching with these guys last night, and it kind of panned out exactly like the books. Whenever you see the Dodgers as a dog, you should scratch your head or your chin or whatever you want to scratch something. But
balls.
Yeah. Whatever.
Oh shoot.
But think hard about what you're doing. Today is going to be a different day, and here's why. Gonsolin's a good pitcher. Lauer's a good pitcher. But diving into it, Lauer does 2 things. My buddy calls it creating traffic. He gives up about a hit an inning, so there are a lot of hits, and he walks too many people. The Dodgers are not the team you want to do that to, and the Dodgers haven't been hitting like the Dodgers, but one thing they have been doing is they've been hitting their isolated powers a little above average, which means when they're hitting extra base hits. So if you're walking guys, you're not slapping around singles, you're hitting a double here or there, they're going to score runs. I don't know that it's an over, but I like my bet is going to be the first 5 run line Dodgers at minus 115. I think Gonsolin is the better pitcher. And if you're looking at Lauer putting some guys on base, we could be looking at a 2-1 or 2-0 type of first 5. That's my bet. Best bet.
I like it. Nick, what do you think here? Dodgers, Brewers.
Yeah, I remember the other night where I was talking with Dave, and I was able to talk him off the Dodgers money line after about like 30 minutes of looking at other games. And I wish I wasn't greedy yesterday. I had that game read perfectly, except for my greedy ass wanted plus money. It is what it is. You learn. But this is a different game, and I'm actually backing Gonsolin here. I got the Dodgers first 5 and full game run lines. I was able to get it at even money last night for the full game, and I got minus 120 for the first 5. So I think Gonsolin goes out there and kind of shoves, and I think that the Dodgers are able to get to Eric Lauer a little bit. So I rarely do this, but I am backing the Dodgers today.
All right. There you go. BetStamp, use code WILD when signing up. Follow me at Let's Go Wild Picks. Make sure to do your line shopping for whatever bets you are looking at. They have a whole variety of different books that you can find the different odds at. So make sure to do your line shopping and follow me at Let's Go Wild Picks and use code WILD when signing up at BetStamp. We'll go on to the 4th game before we get to last pitch. And that's the Diamondbacks and the Giants to finish the game off. You can find Arizona at plus 180 to plus 190. You can find the Giants minus 215 to minus 230. 7.5's a couple sevens available in this one. I asked the group chat that we are in earlier today. I said, "Are the Giants good again?" Because they were pretty bad for a while, and now they're kind of hot on a winning streak here. But all teams, or not all teams, most baseball teams will have stretches where they go on winning streaks. So obviously that's not anything abnormal. But the Giants have been looking better as of late, and they do have Carlos Rodon on the mound today, a guy I can trust, who has been pitching very well basically all year long. A few rough starts, but that happens to all pitchers. In his last 3 games, yes, against Pittsburgh, Oakland, and the Cubs, but he only allowed 3 earned runs total in those 3 starts, going 5 innings, 6 innings, and 7 innings, not walking anybody in any of those 3 starts. Now he's facing Arizona. I think Arizona is comparable to Pittsburgh, Oakland, and the Cubs. Maybe more towards the Cubs, but definitely
They're better than all of those teams.
Yeah,
They are
they're
way
about to
better
say
than all
Arizona's
those
better than
teams.
them, but
They're on the up and coming. Those other teams are just always will be dog crapping on now.
Yep.
But anyway.
Yeah, okay. Like I said, they are more closer to the Cubs than they are Pittsburgh.
I agree with that.
But Arizona is not like a really good team. Not yet.
no,
Serious
not
contenders.
such an allegation.
So Giants in this spot for me. Giants run line. I also have the Dodgers and the Giants parlay together, both on the money line for plus 134. But I also got Giants run line at plus 100. I trust Carlos Rodon a lot more than I trust Zach Davies. And I trust the Giants are playing pretty good right now. So kind of see if they can keep the streak going. I think they do here at home in this spot. Tim, Diamondbacks, Giants, what do you think here?
Before we jump into that game, can you pull up Ice's comment real quick? The last one.
ISIS.
Uh-oh.
Ice.
Votto season-ending surgery, and I verified it. It's on Underdog. That's so sad. I really like Votto. I know that team sucks and everything. I liked Votto. But anyways, Giants game. Once again, I couldn't do the run line, and the only reason why is that the Giants don't cover run lines. They're just not a team that covers. But what I did do in this game was I backed Rondon. I got him over 8.5 strikeouts at like plus 120 something. I think that's what I got. I don't remember. But I know I got him over 8.5 because in 8 out of his last 10 starts, he's gotten at least 7 strikeouts, which is crazy. Yeah, 8.5 at plus 119. So I'm going with Rendon to strike out a bunch of D-backs tonight. I couldn't go Giants. If you wanted to parlay like the Rondon strikeouts with the Giants, I think that's a little bit more manageable than or more likely than getting the run line from the Giants, because this game could easily be 2-1 again like last night. Very disappointing last night. They blew it with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, but Rondon strikeouts is where I'm going with this one.
All right. Yeah, I've cashed on the Rodon strikeouts definitely lots of times this year, so can't blame you at all. Dave, Diamondbacks, Giants, what do you think here?
Yeah, I think Arizona's who are they like? They're like the Orioles. They're a team that the Orioles are probably, a little better, but they're a team that has some young – they're going places, and they're exciting to watch. And the Giants aren't. The Giants, in my opinion, are one of the worst watches in baseball. But anyways, I'm high on the Diamondbacks, is I guess what I'm saying. So I wasn't jumping on your case. But who knows who's going to win this game? It looks like a Giants spot, but I've stayed away from Giants games because weird shit happens. The play in this game, and one that I'm betting, and I didn't look at this last night, but I hit it, but the total first 5 is 4. That seems like a lot to me, especially because Rodon's pitching and Arizona does not hit left-handed pitching at all. And, Davies is a serviceable pitcher. He's a pitch-to-contact guy, and he gives up a lot of fly balls, but this is a stadium that is not friendly to the home run. Fly balls stay in the park. So I'm liking – it's a minus 120, but at 4 runs for the first 5 innings, in San Francisco with Rodon on the mound and Davies, who's okay, I like the under. That might be my underplay. Or my total play.
Can't talk you off that. Nick, Diamondbacks Giants. What do you think here?
I've got nothing on this game, but the more and more I look at this, and Tim's going to know what I'm talking about here, and this all these things are adding up to a potential play for me. We have the Giants; they're minus 210. It's the last game of the night. This feels like a slaughter game. That game where the big favorite loses, all the parlays go down the drain, and some weird shit happens. It always happens on the last games of the night. Usually they're Dodger games, or usually they're West Coast games, or like the Dodgers or the Padres, or sometimes the Giants when they're playing crap teams. This has to feel that the Diamondbacks win this game 3-2 or something like that. So I'm going to lean towards the Diamondbacks here at a plus 180 price tag. Diamondbacks bullpen's not been bad lately, and Giants bullpen's been pretty bad. Yeah. And are the Giants good again? No. They've played the Diamondbacks and the Pirates for 5 straight games. No, they're not good again. They've played bad opponents. But for me, this has slaughter game written all over it. I would lean Diamondbacks to kind of wipe away people's parlays at the end of the night, but it's a pass for me at the moment. I might add it depending on how today goes. If today's a good day, I may add the Diamondbacks later.
All right, so Nick might be dog hunting later tonight. We shall see.
Potentially.
Next up, before last pitch, follow Nick and Tim at Earl Sports Bets. Follow Dave at Picks from Dave. The link to both of their channels will be in the description below. So make sure to follow both of them. Couldn't do the show without them. So thanks, guys.
Very nice.
Moving on to last pitch. Kind of look at the rest of the slate here. I don't have anything else. The 4 games that we talked about are games I have picks in. I don't have any opinion about the Blue Jays game. I could go on a rant here for the next 10 minutes about how pathetic yesterday's game was, but I will not do that. People might consider me kind of a homer when it comes to my sports teams, but I can honestly say that the Jays are playing absolutely horrible baseball right now, and nobody should back them in any situation. With that said, they will probably end up winning this game today because I just said that, and because I'm not betting them.
It's 0-0 mid 2 right now. So
yeah, no hits for either team yet.
Saying there's a chance.
So you're saying there's a chance,
but I wouldn't recommend betting them right now. Just my opinion, but I'm sure others share the same opinion with me. Padres Marlins. I stayed off this game. I could see Pablo Lopez and the Marlins pulling it out and getting the win here, or at least maybe in the first 5. This Padres team, I don't know what to really say about them. I think the Tatis news may really be affecting them in the dugout there. So I think that could be really affecting them. But they have not been playing to the level that anybody thought that they would be playing at this point. Red Sox Pirates, we kind of went over a little bit earlier. I have no bets in that game, but with Rich Hill on the mound, maybe look at Pittsburgh. Rays Yankees, well, that was a really tough one as well. Not really interested in backing either teams here. Maybe the Rays. Kluber has done pretty well against the Yankees in the past, but no real opinion there. Tigers Guardians, I was all ready to back the Guardians here in this spot. Yes, they've lost 2 in a row, but I think that they obviously have the huge pitching advantage. The only thing I don't like is that Norris is a lefty. I really don't like that. I'd much rather them be facing righties for the Guardians lineup, so I didn't end up pulling the trigger there. Won't talk about the next game, Odorizzi and Scherzer. We would assume, I guess I'll briefly talk about it. We would assume that the team who must not be named would win and that the Braves would lose. But we've seen things happen in the last 2 games.
Don't assume anything.
The Mets have only scored one run in the last 2 games.
Who has? You actually said their name there.
Yeah, I said their name because the team who must not be named takes too long. But I did kind of want to touch on this game. I do think they obviously have the pitching advantage here, and it's time for the Mets to show what they're made of in this game. Athletics, Rangers, Oler against Regans. A straight pass for me. The Oilers, the Athletics cash for
Hockey
me.
mode.
I'm looking at Oler's name in the Athletics, and yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And my mind's on hockey. I've been watching hockey clips
It's
today.
a good place to be.
I'm ready for hockey to come back. But back to baseball. The Athletics cash for me yesterday, so I appreciate that. But I can't back them 2 nights in a row, not with Oler on the mound. Astros, White Sox, Valdez against Kopech. Another pass, a lean with the White Sox, but not pulling the trigger. And that is it for today's slate. And my thoughts on the rest of today's slate. Tim, the rest of the baseball slate, and I know you have some picks in other sports,
Yes.
sport. So feel free.
Well,
to
right
get
now, nothing spells out being a degenerate like betting 12-year-old baseball. So right now I have Massachusetts plus 185 versus Tennessee because it's plus money. Why not? By the way, Canada plays Australia next. Canada is like a minus 245. So I might go Australia.
Play Australia.
I'm only having fun with it.
Canada's a fake
I
country
know
anyway.
Hawaii
So play
plays
Australia.
later. They're a minus 800 favorite, so I'm not touching that game. Anyways, back to the majors. I like Miami to finish off the sweep. Kind of my theme of the day is sweeps. So Marlins finish off the sweep. I know I have the Mets tonight. I run lined them plus money, whatever. Scherzer versus Odorizzi. If there's a game, you know what? If Scherzer can go more than 3 innings, he'll do better than the last 2 pitchers that left with injuries. Kind of hard to win games when you get 6 innings worth of bullpen, but it happens. So unfortunately, a little bit of injury problems are already starting for the Mets. But against Odorizzi, they should be able to hit. By the way, Brett Beatty will be making his major league debut tonight for the New York Mets. I believe he got called up.
He's gonna be active.
He should be in the starting lineup. That's the number 2 prospect for the Mets, so that's exciting to see. Cardinals once again, Montgomery strikeout props. I went another team to sweep. Chicago White Sox. This is a statement series for them. They've come from behind both games. I could see them doing it again tonight. Give me the White Sox. I got them at plus 130 something. I like the White Sox to finish it off. WNBA, grab the 2 dogs. I like the Liberty Bibberty at plus. They're 9.5 now, and then the Mercury are 16.5. But I like both of them plus the points tonight. No, I'm not betting the money lines on those. Although I think the Liberty have a shot tonight. But that's kind of just what I'm looking at. That's pretty much it for the slate. Oh, Scherzer strikeout prop. My bad. Scherzer, and then there was. I think I mentioned all the strikeout props that I had.
Voth was the other one, I think.
And I have Voth now, which has 2 strikeouts now through the first inning and 2/3. So hopefully that works out. But that's everything for today.
All right. Dave, last pitch. What do you think here?
Yeah, betting on Little League Baseball seems strangely creepy. It should probably – it sounds like it should be illegal, but, each their own. I only have one other play, and that is the Mets game. I said I wasn't going to be on the series because everything's gone the other way. Hey, look, it's still the Mets. There's been some weird voodoo in this series. 13-1 that game. I still don't even understand how that freaking happened. But
bullpen.
Yeah, well, it rained, and then there was a freak injury to Carrasco. It's just whatever. This game, here's the deal. The Mets are still the Mets. I know the Atlanta's hitting, but the Mets are hitting too. And we can talk about Scherzer and how he's pitching the best of the season, of the whole season. He's pitched great all season. In August, he's pitched the best he's pitched the last 2 games. And then versus the Braves this year, he's pitched 14 innings and gave up 1 run. Now, Odorizzi, he's a good pitcher. But if you look at the one outing versus the Mets, they got a couple runs off him, and I think that's all it's going to take. I'm hoping the Mets pull their head out of their asses and Scherzer come out and shoves and shuts them out first 5 innings. But that's my only other bet. I took the first 5, and I got it at minus 114, which for Scherzer first 5 against an average pitcher seems kind of trappy, but I'll take the bait.
All right. My only quick little comment is the bullpens can't explain that the Mets only scored 1 run, Tim. Just saying. So
I'm
the
with
Mets can't. They have lost the last 2 games, and the bullpen is definitely a big reason why. But offense,
The Mets were the hottest bat, and going into this series, the Mets were the hottest bats in the major leagues. So that's we, and they haven't scored for 1 run in 2 games. That's the weird voodoo that's happening, and I'm not like the boys
MLB
here.
is breaking it, so it's a closer race down the stretch. Obviously,
No, I'm not saying anything like that. That's crazy. No,
but
I
Tim
just
and
feel
Nick
like
have
once,
said the Mets are kind of jinxed.
yeah, they're kind of jinxed, and I feel like
Mets
once
fans can never
both,
have anything nice.
once both Cookie went out of the game early and Walker went out of the game early, I feel like the Mets just went, well, we're screwed tonight, we're done, and they just kind of gave up. But no, there's no excuses. They should be winning these games.
They have one of the best pitchers in baseball going today, so they better
And
get their
tomorrow.
act together.
Well, yeah, that's one prop I do want to bet is Scherzer's outs recorded over because they're going to push him to go 7-8 innings.
What's it at right now?
It was 16.5, I want to say. I can get that up.
I already brought the odds down. So
18.5 over is minus 115.
Really? Oh, 18 and a half, you said.
18.5.
Yeah.
Saying he goes 6 in the 3rd innings.
I know. I don't know. I don't know. 16 and a half I liked a lot more.
Yeah, I said it wrong. Yeah.
Nick, last pitch. The rest of baseball. What do you think here?
Yeah. Rolling with the Fish first 5. I've been on the Fish the whole series. Fading the Padres. I think the Padres are going to be one of those teams where, yeah, they bulked up at the trade deadline. Well, they'll be on the outside looking in, I think, at the end of the season. I think this team is overrated. I think there's going to be plenty of money fading this Padres team, and then I'm going to do it tonight here. Miami Marlins in the first 5 innings at plus 120. For the Mets, I did get to the Mets game. I did not back a side, though. I went first 5 under 4. I think Scherzer goes out there and shoves, and maybe the Mets get 2 runs against Odorizzi in the first 5 innings. Mets bats have been struggling a little bit as of late, and I do expect Scherzer to go out here and shove and to go out there and put the team on his back and give them 7-8 shutout innings tonight. So we've seen him do that before. I think we see that again here. First 5 under 4, Mets and Braves. We already touched the Rockies game. We already touched the Brewers game. We already touched the Diamondbacks game. We already touched the Angels game. I'm on the first 5 under 4 with Detroit and Cleveland with Norris and Quantrill. Passed on the Athletics game, but it's a lean towards maybe a little dog action there with the Athletics with Adam Aller. I think Aller is going to be better than people think he is. Eventually, I think he's going to, because he's finally getting some major league appearances, and I think he was a highly touted prospect for a reason. There's a reason why the Mets traded him for Chris Bassett. There's a reason, and he won minor league pitcher of the year last year. So there's a reason why this guy was traded for a name like Bassett. So I think potentially you're going to see Aller turn things around and have good outings. Plus 140 with the Athletics, I think is interesting tonight. Astros and White Sox, it's only White Sox or nothing for me. It's a pass on the game, though. And then finally, we have the interleague game with Boston and Pittsburgh. I went first 5 under 4.5 at minus 120.
Do they even call them interleague? I remember when interleague first started like 25 years ago.
Interleague.
Everyone plays everyone, though, now. It's not even that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's because
It's just for AL versus NL is what it's called.
Because there's 15 teams per league. It has to have an interleague matchup every single series.
Well, I know that, but back when that started, they didn't. I think it was 1995 or 1996. They only played a few games against each other. So, but now every fucking game, anyways. I just didn't know they called it interleague play.
And usually after the All-Star break, there was no more interleague play.
Interesting. Yeah, actually, there's one sports book, Sports Interaction, which I do use. They actually split the games. So when you go to search the MLB games,
US
they
does
have
the same thing.
American League, National League, and Interleague.
Yep.
Which I think is kind of annoying. But
You know what doesn't matter anymore? Because you used to have a DH when you went to the NL and the pitcher. Now that doesn't matter. So that's why it's
I feel like losing I feel like the universal DH is a bittersweet thing because I loved watching pitchers hit sometimes. Like there are some pitchers that could actually rake,
Like I missed
We wanted to
like,
make the game more
we will
exciting.
never get a Bartolo Colon home run anymore. And so it's like some of the biggest moments we saw. It was a Reds pitcher hit a grand slam
we
2
saw
years ago or
Tukey
something.
Toussaint hit a grand slam last year.
Or sorry, it was the Padres pitcher that hit a grand slam a couple years ago. We're gonna miss that, but I feel like the universal DH is a good thing.
Yeah, the major league was losing. They were saying for years. I mean, 5 years ago, no one could name us. There wasn't a baseball fan. Couldn't name anyone except for Bryce Harper or Mike Trout. They were losing everyone, and so that's why all these rule changes have happened. So anything that makes it more exciting, I'm for. Like I'm for like weapons and all sorts of stuff. They need to
If you can't get to first base by the end of this thing, a samurai guy's going to come behind you. Let's go.
There was this game. I don't know if you guys ever played the original, and I'll end with this. Nintendo, the regular NES with the original Mario Brothers from the 80s. There was this game called it was a game with Major League Baseball with robots. And when you got into pickle, your robot had a weapon and you duel, and there'd be like a gun or a sword. And if the guy killed the other guy, you moved to the next base. Yeah, it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Or here's another fun idea. Let's put landmines randomly in the outfield.
Yeah, well, that's sound like some of my friends.
As long as we start with City Field, right, Nick and Tim?
Oh,
No, it'll be universal. It'll be everywhere.
No, you have to go after the crappy teams. Give
You know the Mets will lose half their team the first week, and everybody else will be fine.
Whoever finishes last in the league has to have landmines in their outfield.
There you go.
No more tanking.
No more tanking.
We'll go to the best bet segment. We'll start with over under, as we always do. For me, none. There are no totals that I'm on today. The only over Kirby over on his strikeouts, but it's not a game total, so can't be used. Nick, Detroit, Cleveland, first 5 under 4. Tim, Atlanta, team total under 4.5. And Brian, St. Louis, Colorado, over 7. Dave, what do you think here for over under?
Yeah, I should probably be like you and not pick one, but I'm going to go with the Giants and the D-backs, first 5 under 4.
All right. Moving on along here to dog of the day. Nick and Tim are both on the Miami Marlins, and that is it right now so far.
Is there another one that I can do instead? So that can you
Well,
switch mine to
hold
the
on.
Chicago White Sox? I want something different than Nick.
That's fair.
Why would you want to be the same thing as Nick? Dave?
I figured if we're giving out plays, giving out 2 of the same, rather give out 2 separate ones. People could do more with that.
That works. Dave, is there a dog that you like today?
No. I didn't bet one, and I'm not going to add one to my bets. And I mean, I kind of like Arizona, but I'm not going to make that official.
All right, no problemo. For me, parlay piece, San Francisco Giants money line. For Nick, Dodgers money line. For Tim, White Sox plus 1.5. And Ryan is going the New York Mets first 5 money line. Dave, what do you think here for parlay piece?
Yep, I'm going to go with the Mets first 5 run line. I know it's worse odds, but again, it goes to that whole deal of I'm just going to put another bet that I actually bet there versus a bet that's juiced.
No worries. And we'll go on to a best bet. For me, I like to use my best bet on the bet I have the most money on, and that is Seattle Mariners, minus 1.5 for 1 unit. Nick, you are going with the Miami Marlins first 5 money line, plus 125. Tim, taking the Mets to rebound here on the run line, plus 125. And Ryan, taking the San Francisco Giants, minus 1.5. Dave, what do you think here for best bet?
I'm going with the Doyers first 5 run line.
Who?
The Dodgers.
Dodgers.
Oh, Dodgers. Okay, sorry.
That's a I got maybe a Southern California joke, but
The Dozers.
the Doyers.
The Doyers, yeah.
We'll have to find out the odds for that.
I think I'll look them up right now.
All right, and while we do that, for the first time, all four of us are all in the green. And best bets.
Minus 109.
Minus 109. All right. We have a battle here in the standings. Obviously, it will reset when a football starts, and we'll have brand new standings for when the football season starts. Ryan currently in first here, up 5.81 units, which is awesome. Me and Nick not too far behind. Tim just got back in the green. Dave right there. It's anybody's game.
Oof, I am.
I've had a
21 games
horrible
under 500.
last
All right.
week. Horrible.
I'm
Well-
21 games under. I love it.
Yeah, hey, we're all in the green, and that's what matters. It's being in the green. But that is the show. Best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. If you like the content, smash the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. As I said, follow Tim and Nick at ESB. Follow Dave at Picks from Dave in the description below. And we will see you again tomorrow for another episode. Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Best of luck tonight, guys.